Never go to the past. Not for happiness, not for justification, not for excuses. The world is what it is. You are what you are. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Of all the liars in the world, sometimes the worst are our own fears. Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Remember that what you now have was once among the things you only hoped for. You don't have to burn books to destroy a culture. Just get people to stop reading them. Don't look back. You are not going that way. Practice self-compassion. We are all human, and everyone makes mistakes. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Make and keep friends with the people you want to emulate, not the people that you think will be most likely to accept you. The people you associate with will shape your future. Start saving you money. Don't spend it on homes you can't afford, fancy cars, and running your credit cards to the max. In the end, you'll be much happier. There are two paths you can go by, but in the long run there's still time to change the road you're on. It's no use wasting time worrying what other people think about you. No one is thinking about you. The world is a tragedy to those who feel, but a comedy to those who think. Thinking is the hardest work there is, which is probably the reason why so few engage in it. There are only 3 events in a man's life: birth, life, and death. He is not conscious of being born. He dies in pain and he forgets to live. Manage your mood, because if it does not obey, then it commands. In order to understand the world, one has to turn away from it on occasion. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. True love never has a happy ending, because there is no ending to true love. Life is like a book. Some chapters are sad, some are happy, but all are necessary for the full story. Take good care of your health. Without health, nothing will matter. No amount of money can bring you joy if you are suffering. Always move in your own direction, not according to society, friends, or family. What other people think of you is none of your business. It is not a lack of time, it is a lack of priority. Through discipline comes freedom. To know your enemy, you must become your enemy. Children learn by an adult's example, not by their words. Never overlook contempt. When someone views you with contempt and talks to you like you're beneath them, they will likely do you harm. Whether relationally, socially, or physically, remove that person from your life. Life is far from over, but it's very short too. If you want to do something, don't delay, but don't sacrifice what you want for what you want right now. This is your world. Shape it or someone else will. The best thing I ever did was stop telling people what's going on in my life. Be proud of how hard you are trying. At your lowest, you realize a lot. No one is too busy, it's only a matter of priorities. Never force, don't beg, and don't chase. Learn how to change a flat tire on your vehicle. If you don't value your time, neither will others. The pain you feel today will be the strength you feel tomorrow. Don't put off important medical checkups. Time heals almost everything. Give it time. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. If it keeps you happy, keep it quiet. If nobody helps you, do it alone. Be selfish with your time. A lot of people don't deserve it. You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. If you don't ask, you don't get. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Life isn't fair, but it's still good. He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life. Never take the responsibility that does not belong to you. Have firm boundaries and be discerning about who you let into your life. Buy real estate, land, anything you can afford. The less possessions you own, the happier and less burden you will have in your life. Don't leave someone to teach them a lesson. Leave because you learned yours. When in doubt, just take the next small step. Be careful who you marry, and even more careful who you have kids with. Slow down and realize that mistakes are essential to learning anything. Get yourself together before you get any older. The older you are, the harder it is to change. No one cares except family. Keep busy. It's the cheapest kind of medicine there is on this earth, and one of the best. Your friends' problems become your problems. The smaller your circle, the less bullshit you have to deal with. When you were born, you cried, and the world rejoiced. Live your life so that when you die, the world cries, and you rejoice. A bad phase of your life can start at any time. Genius is 1% talent and 99% hard work. The noblest work of God, man. Who found it out? Man. Save a little money every week or month. Nothing gives you happiness like a financial buffer, believe it or not. Happiness is not something you postpone for the future. It is something you design for the present. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around, you could miss it. The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Do your best and trust the process. The harder you work, the luckier you will get. Your heart will tell you where to go. Your head will guide you there safely. Use one without the other, and you'll get lost. Throw off your worries when you throw off your clothes at night. Often the lies that are believed become the truth. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. Never give up on something you really want. It's difficult to wait, but it's more difficult to regret. You can't do big things if you are distracted by small things. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you cannot. A clever person solves a problem. A wise person avoids it. Most so-called failures are only temporary defeats. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Intuition is something that is ahead of accurate knowledge. One can always be kind to people about whom one cares nothing. Nothing costs so much in life as illness and ignoring an illness. Everything outside of this moment is just imagination. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. Stay strong. Even when things begin to fall apart, stay strong. I would rather be a swineherd understood by the swine than a poet misunderstood by men. Fear doesn't exist anywhere except in the mind. You'll never be sorry for telling someone you love them. Do it before it's too late. You can tell more about a person by what he says about others than you can by what others say about him. To get married means to halve your rights and double your responsibilities. You will be pulled down out of jealousy. Don't get surprised. It's normal. Most of the time, you have to swallow the pain and learn to grow up by yourself. Trust wisely and not blindly. Here for a good time, not a long time. A fool is known by his speech, and a wise man by silence. One today is worth 2 tomorrows. Our thoughts make us what we are. Difficulty shows what men are. The life of the dead is set in the memory of the living. Never take anything personally. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality. The more you are interested in others, the more interesting they find you. To be interesting, be interested. The only time you should ever look back is to see how far you've come. Embraces stress as the opposite of apathy. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. A leader is a dealer in hope. Keep your fears to yourself, but share your courage with others. When you work for someone else, you have the right only to labor, not to the fruits of your labor. True love begins when nothing is looked for in return. Don't read a quote and say, "This is wise," but read a quote and say, "How can I relate this to my life?" Better 50% now than 100% never. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You're being judged, no matter what, so be who you want to be. Wealth is like seawater. The more we drink, the thirstier we become, and the same is true of fame. What Paul says about Peter tells us more about Paul than about Peter. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. The truth is, everyone is going to hurt you. You just gotta find the ones worth suffering for. Be loyal or stay single. That's simple. Never say maybe if you want to say no. When you are angry, stay silent. You don't have to win every argument, agree to disagree. At some point you will realize no one else has a say in your life, unless you let them. You are confined only by the walls you build yourself. When you work for someone else, you have the right only to labor, not to the fruits of your labor. Children make so much noise you can't think, but when they leave the house forever, the silence is maddening. Non-violence is a weapon of the strong. No matter how thin you slice it, there will always be two sides. Anything you dream is fiction, and anything you accomplish is science. The whole history of mankind is nothing but science fiction. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. Live every day as your last, because one of these days it will be. Only those who can afford not to lie are free. He who is to be a good ruler must have first been ruled. The greatest risk is not taking one. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Give without expecting anything in return. You need to stop the habit of doubting yourself. Waiting for change while not doing anything for it is like waiting for the train at a bus stop. A blind man is a poor guide until it gets dark. We have two lives, and the second begins when we realize we only have one. It's not your fault things are the way they are. You can't wait for inspiration, you have to go after it with a club. Remember, 5 years ago, you dreamed about being where you are now. Think about it. If you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it yourself. Life will only come around once, so do whatever makes you happy. Those who are hardest to love need it the most. What one man calls God, another calls the laws of physics. Hatred is a curse that does not affect the hated, it only poisons the hater. Release a grudge as if it was poison. Never tell your friends your plans. Stop putting too much trust in them. Don't let anyone know what you're doing until it's done. Time always exposes what you truly mean to someone. Be correct with everyone, sociable with many, close to the elect, friend to the few. It is nothing to die, it is frightful not to live. If a woman is angry, it means she is not only wrong, but also she knows it. If someone is trying to bring you down, they are already below you. Time always exposes what you truly mean to someone. Even the finest swallow plunged into salt water will eventually rust. Not everybody wants to be your friend, and that's okay. You really don't want everybody as a friend anyway. What we do now echoes in eternity. Do the hard jobs first. The easy jobs will take care of themselves. If you can survive your own thoughts, you can survive anything. Love your enemies, for they tell you your faults. That which does not kill us makes us stronger. Procrastination is the thief of time. Collar it. One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. What we learn from history is that no one learns from history. Who dares nothing needs hope for nothing. Learn to heal without venting to everyone. Failure is a bruise, not a tattoo. Be careful who you trust. Salt and sugar look the same. Money is a tool, not the goal. Freedom is the goal. Stay calm. You've been through this before. You'll get through it again. Learn to say no without explaining yourself. Believe nothing you hear, and only one half that you see. The saints are the sinners who keep on trying. Above all things, respect yourself. Do what no one else can do, and you will become what no one else can become. Value experience over possessions, because memories are the real treasures of life. Give back. Even if it's donating your tag sale leftovers, or handing a dollar bill over to someone less fortunate, do it. It'll make you feel good. Women are meant to be loved, not to be understood. Lead from the back, and let others believe they are in front. Love is an irresistible desire to be irresistibly desired. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Intellect is invisible to the man who has none. Do yourself a favor. Get rich. Life gets easier with money, not time. If they don't appreciate you, they don't deserve you. To avoid disappointment, expect nothing from nobody. Avoid gossip at all costs. It's poison to your mind. The root of all suffering is attachment. Stress is temporary, but the lessons you learn from it can last a lifetime. Money isn't everything in life, but it can help you solve a lot of problems. The future comes slowly, the present flies, and the past stands still forever. To be everywhere is to be nowhere. The greatest victory is victory over yourself. If you are not falling down occasionally, you are just coasting. Forget what hurt you, but never forget what it taught you. The only way to live like a king is to work like a slave. Everyone, at some time or another, sits down to a banquet of consequences. You came into this huge world alone, and will go out of it alone. hence can make any impossible thing possible by yourself only. Appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak. Seek wisdom, not knowledge. Knowledge is of the past, wisdom is of the future. Give a man power, and you will find out who he is. You are responsible for your own happiness. If you expect others to make you happy, you will always be disappointed. You don't always have to be going, being, and doing. It's really okay to just chill. Who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past. Smart people learn from everything and everyone. Average people from their experiences. Stupid people already have all the answers. Above all things, never be afraid. The enemy who forces you to retreat is himself afraid of you at that very moment. Accept what is, let go of what was, have faith in what will be. Remember, some things have to end for better things to begin. If you wish to forget anything on the spot, make a note that this thing is to be remembered. Things may come to those who wait, but only the things left by those who hustle. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Have at least one person in your life who gives you honest opinions. Be a good person, but don't waste your time proving it. Do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life. Whoever violated trust once loses it forever. Everything happens for a reason, always. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. He suffers more than necessary, who suffers before it is necessary. Fear of death increases in exact proportion to increase in wealth. Your enemies can kill you, but only your friends can hurt you. If a man knows more than others, he becomes lonely. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. Nothing is particularly hard if you divide it into small jobs. A negative mind will never give you a positive life. Drop by drop is the water pot filled. Likewise, the wise man, gathering it little by little, fills himself with good. Everything you need will come to you at the perfect time. If you want to be trusted, be honest. People who say it cannot be done should not interrupt those who are doing it. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. A goal without a plan is just a wish. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. He who walks straight rarely falls. Life will separate you from your friends, so appreciate each moment you have together. Women make even the men more sophisticated. Do not chase after happiness. It is always in you. Hope for the best. Prepare for the worst. Good things do come to those who wait and suffer. It might take time and be a long and rough road, but it's completely and totally worth it. You will look back at your life with much more regret for the things that you didn't do than for the things that you did. A profession should initially be an act of love and not a marriage of convenience. Better days are coming. You won't always wake up in the morning with a heavy heart. Worrying doesn't take away tomorrow's troubles. It takes away today's peace. The man who does more than he is paid for will soon be paid for more than he does. Don't react. Cut them off silently. Genius is a mind that knows its limits. Your strongest muscle and worst enemy is your mind. Train it well. So, in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you. Anyone you love can die any time. Cherish them. Time is money. Trust is easy to build, but can be shattered in seconds. Fortune accompanies the brave. The more you spend clinging to the past, the less likely your future will be any brighter. Perfection is achieved, not when there is nothing more to add, but when there is nothing left to take away. He who has a why to live for can bear almost anyhow. The art of living well and the art of dying well are one. If you can make a girl laugh, you can make her do anything. Your direction is more important than your speed. If you waste money, you can earn it again. If you miss the moment, it can never be returned. Live life with opened eyes, ears, and heart. Never ruin an apology with an excuse. It always seems impossible until it's done. Don't ever let the same people disappoint you twice. There is no better way to save yourself than saving money every day. Compound interest can do wonders. Keep your mouth shut whenever you are happy. Keep your mouth shut whenever you are sad. Things don't make us happy. Experiences do. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Real men despise battle, but will never run from it. There is truth in wine and children. People want you to succeed, but not more than themselves. Hard times will always reveal true friends. Stop comparing yourself with those who started 10 years before you. Focus on your own journey. Simplicity is the result of maturity. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Learning to let go should be learned before learning to get. It does not require many words to speak the truth. Choose your friends wisely. The fastest way to become better is to surround yourself with better people. Don't be afraid to make a hard choice. The hard choices are the best you end up making. Nothing is ever as easy as it seems. A person who doesn't make mistakes doesn't make anything at all. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. The hard work of the future will be pushing buttons. Nothing makes a man so adventurous as an empty pocket. The future depends on what you do today. The time for action is now. It's never too late to do something. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. Someone else's progress doesn't make yours any less. Even the nicest people have their limits. If you punish the truth, expect to be lied to. Only he who controls himself is free. If you cannot have a faithful friend, be your own friend. Laziness travels so slowly that poverty soon overtakes him. Other people's stupidity never makes us smart. Seek respect, not attention. It lasts longer. So many people love you. Don't focus on the people who don't. Your vision will be blurry, but it will grow clear with time. Patience is your ally. Never forget who helped you in a difficult time. Both optimists and pessimists contribute to society. The optimist invents the airplane, the pessimist, the parachute. Laws are like cobwebs, which may catch small flies, but let wasps and hornets break through. He travels the fastest who travels alone. Genius lies in the ability to distinguish the difficult from the impossible. A lie can travel halfway around the world, while the truth is putting its shoes on. Last but not least, you are here for a reason that you may not know, but be patient. You beat 1 billion odds by being here. Be grateful for the little things in life that others take for granted. There will always be someone who doesn't see your worth. Don't let it be you. Life did not intend to make us perfect. Whoever is perfect belongs in a museum. What we know is a drop. What we don't know is an ocean. No regrets. Just do better next time. Before you are old, attend as many funerals as you can bear and listen. Nobody talks about the departed's achievements. The only thing people will remember is what kind of person you were while you were achieving. Just because you miss someone doesn't mean you need them back in your life. Missing is a part of getting over. Ignorance is the root and stem of every evil. Never interrupt your enemy when he is making a mistake. Take care of your body. Remember, health is another form of wealth. You cannot change the direction of the wind, but you can adjust your sails to reach your destination. Don't regret having a good heart. All good things come back and multiply. If you don't let go of the wrong people, you'll never meet the right people. Don't feel guilty for doing what's best for you. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. Don't trust words, trust actions. Courage is not having the strength to go on. It is going on when you don't have the strength. There is nothing more unbearable than idleness. God knows when to send you exactly what you need. Don't make a permanent decision based on temporary emotions. First, it hurts, then it makes you stronger. No matter how hard the past, you can always begin again. Forgive your old self, you've changed. Don't judge your greatness by your shadow at sunset. A friend to all is a friend to none. A woman's guess is much more accurate than a man's certainty. He who is not satisfied with a little is satisfied with nothing. Understanding a question is half an answer. How many things would you attempt if you knew you could not fail? You alone are enough. You have nothing to prove to anyone. Sometimes you have to go through the worst to get the best. Be alone until you're valued. Don't overshare. Privacy is power. Be yourself. People don't have to like you and you don't have to care. To be able to forget means sanity. Free yourself from society's advice. Most of them have no idea of what they're doing. It is better to offer no excuse than a bad one. Everything that happens before death is what counts. Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth because they don't want their illusions destroyed. The secret to success is to do the common things uncommonly well. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. The family you create is more important than the family you come from. The more you don't have sex, the less you want it. The way of truth is like a great road. It is not difficult to know it. The evil is only that men will not seek it. A man must not be without shame, for the shame of being without shame is shamelessness indeed.